Hello, friends, and welcome to Take Two for this Wednesday, the 1st of December, 2021. Wow, I'm Jeannie. I'm so glad you've decided to come along for the ride today. 1 month to go before this year is over. Can you believe it? And guess what? It's only 24 days till Christmas. But that's another story for another time. I want to talk to you about something that happened to me just this morning, and that was that Michael was going through a whole bunch of baseball cards. Now, he's been collecting baseball cards for years and years and years. So going through them is quite a task. So when you're going through lots of albums and lots of boxes and all the various containers, shoe boxes, all the things that he's had baseball cards in, it's amazing the other little things that you find. One of the things that we found were a couple of little league cards of little boys that we knew that are now grown men. They were a couple of kids of a couple of friends of ours, and we thought that was kind of funny finding those. But one other thing was found, and it was just tucked in between some baseball cards, and it was a handwritten note from my father to me and Michael when my father had given him some baseball cards for one reason or another. And it was very funny, and it had like funny little things on it. But the thing that just got me was seeing my father's handwriting. My father had a specific type of handwriting, the way he made his E's and things like that, that were just Frank Perrano-esque. They were just him and him alone. And to see it, it gave me a little bit of a chill. A couple of tears started going down my face, because it just triggered some memories of my father, which were all good. But it was amazing how something as simple as seeing my father's handwriting triggered me that way. Now, did it make me sad? Well, the only reason why it made me sad is because it reminded me how much I miss my father. But was I happy to have it in my hand and to see my father's handwriting again? You bet. It's amazing the little things that can send triggers like that. Going into a place and, okay, this being Christmas season now, going into a store and smelling maybe some of the scents of holly and maybe fresh cut trees on a lot, or anything that might smell like Christmas, or maybe seeing, of course, some of the decorations and things like that, reading about a recipe, maybe going into a restaurant and smelling something cooking. Thanksgiving just passed, and of course, smelling turkey cooking will just invoke all sorts of memories for you. It's amazing how these kinds of things will trigger, but sometimes they trigger things that make us super sad, or sometimes there's triggers that even make us angry. So we have to be really cautious of the way we respond to triggers. Now, in this case, I could have spent the whole day crying and missing my father, but rather I took that little trigger and I decided that I would remember when he wrote that little note, and his sense of humor, and all the wonderful little notes that he used to write my mother, like, "Hey, Mary, press the button and start the coffee." He put little notes on the coffee maker and little things like that. And when my mom passed away and I had to open her wallet, because I had to take out important cards and various things, important information that was in her wallet. It was the first and only time ever in my entire life I opened my mother's purse and took something out of it. It seemed almost like I was trespassing, but of course I had to do it. But besides having like her credit card and her bank card and her driver's license and those sorts of things, I found a little zippered part that was kind of thick, and I didn't know what it was, and I unzipped it. And it was love notes from my father. Some of them were pretty worn away, but I took them all out and I spread them on the table and I read them and I wept and I wept and I wept. And I thought, how precious is that? My mother, every time she needed to remember my father in a special and loving way, she could unzip her wallet and she could take out those love notes and see that handwriting again. And it must have triggered a lot of warmth and love in her heart. So boys and girls, during this holiday season, particularly as we're now in December, I want you to think very carefully about the way you're going to respond when things trigger, okay? You may have a trigger of a bad memory that happened at the holidays, maybe the passing of a loved one or some horrible experience or something, but you also may have triggers of good things. Try to concentrate on the good things. And if something negatively is triggered, toss it away and just concentrate on those good memories. Okay, now listen, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jeanne Sigler, JeanneSigler. Hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up. And every time another Take Two is posted, you will know. And of course, don't forget, go be a blessing to somebody today, because you may end up being the only one who is. And one more thing, don't forget to listen to my radio program, Through the Eyes of a New York Woman. You can hear that every Saturday at 8 Central, 9 Eastern, that's AM and PM, on ultimateoldiesradio.com. And then again on Sunday, you could listen at 4 Central, 5 Eastern, AM and PM on oldies700.com. That's oldies700.com. And immediately following on Sunday, my program you'll hear On the Road with Chef Michael. All right, you all be blessed, and I will see you next week. I love you. Bye-bye.